All right, y'all. So welcome back to another one. Today we're gonna dig a little bit deeper into a well-known pro football player by the name of Shannon Sharpe. Um, we got a little video for you that we want you to take a look at. So take a look at that, and we'll leave our comments when the video is done.
Last week, it was announced Shannon Sharpe was nearing a deal for $100 million podcast deal as his contract with the Volume Podcast Network is set to expire. Now, it's been reported that Sharpe has received multiple offers and is expected to sign a 9-figure deal. However, just days after that announcement, Sharpe is facing a lawsuit filed by a woman under Jane Doe. According to NBC Sports, the 13-page civil complaint alleges that Sharpe committed assault, sexual assault, battery, and sexual battery. In addition, it alleges he engaged in the intentional infliction of emotional distress. The lawsuit was obtained by TMZ Sports and says their relationship began in 2023 when she was 20 years old and he was in his mid-50s. Doe says Sharpe brutally sexually assaulted her several times at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025, following a year-long abusive relationship. Now, Jane Doe did state that their relationship was initially consensual. It became controlling and verbally abusive. The plaintiff is represented by Micah Nash and Tony Busby, who you may know as the lawyer representing more than 50 plaintiffs alleging sexual assault by Sean Diddy Combs. One of those lawsuits included Sean Jay-Z Carter as a defendant, which claimed that both Combs and Carter were involved in a rape of a 13-year-old girl. Jay-Z is currently involved in a lawsuit with Busby to clear his own name and prove Busby's falsehoods. Busby wrote in the new suit against Sharpe, he demanded complete control over her time and body, expecting her to be at his house on his schedule, at his command, whenever he called. It takes a great deal of courage to stand up against those with power, fame, and money. I look forward to pressing this case in court. Part of the lawsuit states, plaintiff tried sharing her location with friends from her iPhone, just in case. But Sharpe saw her doing this. The moment he realized what she was doing, he grabbed her by the neck and told her, if you ever do that again, I will effing kill you. Now, the complaint also alleges Sharpe recorded their sexual activities without her knowledge. It also states that it was another woman, not the plaintiff, who Sharpe was having sex with when his Instagram account live streamed the encounter. According to NBC Sports, this was the moment where the plaintiff began to pull away. The live stream incident happened in September of 2024, and the complaint alleges the first instance of rape occurred in October of 2024 at her apartment, where she alleges Sharpe forced himself on her while she was crying and sobbing. The second instance happened in January of 2025, where Doe claims Sharpe engaged in unprotected sex with the plaintiff, despite her request to get him to stop. Some will remember Sharpe's September 2024 Instagram Live incident where he would say the name Michelle. Now, of course, the internet did its best to uncover her identity, leading most fans to Michelle Bundy, a former love interest of Sharpe, which ended in a 2010 restraining order. Now, Bundy accused Sharpe of sexual assault, stating he forced her to have sex with him, threatened her life, and stalked her. The restraining order was soon dismissed. At the time, CBS News reported that Bundy's accusations weren't a surprise. Troy Hollacker, a Denver area acquaintance of the woman, told the Denver Post, "Everyone knows this is a lie. This is what the woman went out to do." Another acquaintance, Thane Davis, would tell CBS News Bundy was infatuated with Shannon Sharpe. He said she has some insane idea in her head that he's going to be in a relationship with her. She was fabricating stories against me too. Now, this new complaint against Sharpe is asking for a minimum of $50 million from Sharpe. It's currently filed as a civil case with no criminal consequences attached to it. Despite the case being within the statute of limitations, the plaintiff is only seeking monetary gain.
It's a lot. I see it.
Oh, wow. Who would have thought, right?
Listen.
2024, Shannon Sharpe's interview with Cat Williams over close to 90 million views, and now this
awesome.
nonsense.
Yes.
Now, first of all, right, I want to take the time out to say, there's a lot of people out there who are really rape victims, right?
Yeah.
And this story right here is listen, I don't have to be the fly on the wall to know that this story is capped.
Yeah, fabricated.
It's fabricated. It's not true. I don't believe it. This is ridiculous, and it's a money grab, right? And like I said, there's so many people out there who suffered rape, right? From the age of pretty much like infancy all the way up to like, sometimes young adulthood, teenage years, and so on and so forth. And for people to just run around and allege or say that somebody raped them or sexually assaulted them,
it's not cool.
It's not cool. You know what I'm saying? This story right here, it says money grab all over it. And isn't it ironic that after he signs a deal, right? With a podcast network for $100 million, she wants $50 million. As if like she's somebody's ex-wife or something who's scorned. Second of all, I don't believe in ex-wives getting that much anyway. Were you on the court? You know what I'm saying? Like that's
did
another.
You break his,
right? Did you break
your
sweat
hip?
with him?
No. Did you break your hip as well as he broke? Y'all should be, limping together.
But that's a whole nother situation.
Yeah.
But but for her to even, I don't know if she's the one that said she wanted the $50 million or Busby. Now we all know that Busby.
Oh, he's a trip.
He gained a lot of light or a lot of attention during the Diddy trial and the Diddy situations with alleged cases and so on and so forth. And it was proven that he tends to, I think he just does it for the money at this point. Yeah,
kind of exaggerates a lot.
As they said, Jay-Z is suing him because of, obviously for defamation, which he should. You know what I'm saying? You just don't grab people up and twist words, and it's just a mess with this guy, right? And I'm just going to say that and leave it alone. But do we think Diddy is guilty? Of course, we all do. But for the most part, when it comes down to Busby, it's like, are you not vetting your clientele properly or appropriately? You're just taking anybody out of the woodworks, making up stuff. And like I said, he has been proven to twist the truth. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to say that to kind of make things,
you mean
for the benefit.
As far as screening the clientele.
Right, screen it properly. Do your due diligence.
Properly.
Instead, he gets in front of media and, makes all of these statements and accusations. And at a later point, it's proven that it's not true.
Okay, yeah.
Right? So that's really messed up on his part. But when you're in it for the money, it is what it is, right? But my whole thing was this. They said that in 2023, she stated that the relationship was consensual. And all of a sudden, in 2024, she's complaining about, it doesn't even make sense to me, right? To even repeat it. She's complaining that he says to her that let me just make sure I get this correct, because it's so foolish and it's frivolous. I know this is fake.
Normally that's the part when things don't go their way.
Right, exactly. 2023 consensual. 2024 became abusive and verbally abusive, right? And let's just make sure we get cross our T's and dot our I's with this crazy story.
Gotcha.
All right. Okay. She claims that Sharpe demanded complete control of her time and body. What? First of all, I remember Shannon Sharpe saying in an interview that he's a really, really busy guy.
Yeah.
Relationships he's not really looking for, because it would take a certain kind of individual to even, because he's so busy. And as you can see, he's putting out content, he's working here,
which I don't believe that at all.
Who has time for an actual relationship? I think she's a woman scorned.
Yeah.
And her only get back or comeback is basically to
make shit up.
Exactly. To make shit up in order to gain tons of money.
Of course.
Okay, money that she didn't work for, which in my opinion is really messed up, because the system, the judicial system should do things. They need reforming. The judicial system needs reforming.
I think we all
Women should not be allowed to lie on men and get away with it.
Right.
Not even a slap on the wrist.
Right.
Right?
Right.
They a relationship doesn't work out in their favor, or better yet, they're tired of you.
Okay.
Right? And they figured, you know what? I didn't want to be with him anyway. So I'm just going to make up something. There's history that we've been together.
Yes.
And I'm just going to make up something in order to turn around and sue him for pretty much all that he has. Right. And a lot of times women has been proven to literally lie
about anything.
Lie about the situation. I think the whole and nothing happens.
A polygraph exam needs to be given to each situation that happens in that order. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that too. Yeah. And it needs to be properly vetted. And if it comes back that the alleged plaintiff is lying, right?
Or
just out there making a just out there making up situations on people, they should be countersued.
Yeah.
Countersued, or something needs to be, they need reprimanding in some way, shape, or form.
Because they would never learn the lesson.
Right. You just can't go around lying on people, because now it's like you're comfortable within yourself, and now you have to go out there and prove your innocence. What?
Yeah.
What kind of bull crap?
To somebody that didn't matter in the first place.
Right.
It's like, come on, man.
And not to mention all the money you have to spend while proving your innocence.
Yeah.
Money that you work hard for. Listen, I'll be too pissed. You hear me?
I understand.
It's disgusting.
I understand. I mean, Shannon being 56 years old, it's like, you know, going back to the allegations of the whole thing about him recording her in the hotel room or something like that.
Oh yeah. All right. I don't know if you guys remember. I'm gonna insert that clip as well, where Shannon Sharpe had. Basically, everybody knows about it. Well, not allegedly. Everybody knows about it. Well, but he ended up he went live during a sexual endeavor or encounter.
Right.
And it just so happened that Shannon, till this day, he's like, he doesn't know how his phone got turned on live.
Correct.
To even, because he doesn't be on live like that, right? And at 56, he's not that technical.
I believe him.
Listen.
Strongly, I believe him, because
even in your 30s, your 40s, you're not that technical. Trust me.
Obviously, I'm embarrassed. Someone that is extremely, extremely private, and to have one of your most intimate details, the audio heard for the entire world to hear. I'm embarrassed for a number of reasons. People count on Shannon. Shay Shay Media, Club Shay Shay Nightcap, ESPN. There are a lot of people that count on Shannon to be professional at all times. And I always try to be professional at all times. Even when I'm behind closed doors, I still try to remain a level of professional, although I'm in the privacy of my own home. And I'm very disappointed in myself. Not for the act. I think there are millions and billions of people of consenting age that engage in activities. But to have your most intimate detail on the audio to be heard, I'm disappointed in myself. I let a lot of people down. My kids, I reached out to them. I called my sister. My friends reached out. But guys, this was not staged. Came in, I threw my phone on the bed, engaged in an activity. I did not know IG Live. I've never been on IG Live. I've never turned IG Live on. So I don't know how it works. And so all of a sudden, my other phone is going off and people are calling me FaceTime that I've never talked to a day in my life on FaceTime. And I'm like, why are y'all calling me FaceTime? And after a while, Jamie Fritz, who's been my longtime marketing guy, he finally got through to me and he says, Shannon, you on IG Live. I'm like, doing what? I'm like, what am I on IG Live for? I ain't hit no IG Live button. He says, they can hear. I'm like, so now, Ocho, I say ask for patience. He said they can hear. And now I'm starting to get agitated again because you called me and say I'm on IG Live when I know I didn't click myself on IG Live. And he said they can hear me. I said, hear me doing what? He said, it sounds like you were having sex. Man, my heart sank. It dropped. And obviously, I run my accounts, but Jordan being the good Samaritan, the good soldier that he is, Jordan the one that cut it off. Because hell, I didn't even know it was on. Jordan cut it off. Jordan put the message up. And then after I called my agent, the agency, I called ESPN after I just got this good, tell them the truth. I said, I just got to tell them the truth. My phone wasn't hacked. It wasn't a prank. It was me being a healthy, active male. I mean, y'all thought I was bull jiving. Hey, I'll get it in. Real talk. Hey, Ocho, see, I don't, man, I'll be lying. Okay, lying.
Come on, man.
He sparks hard, Ocho. And, I hit one early this morning.
Come on, man.
In all sincerity, I'm extremely embarrassed that a very, very private, intimate situation, the audio can be heard. And I'm extremely disappointed in myself. 5 minutes before I came on, phone rings. It's Cat Williams. So I said, yeah, bro, what's up? The first thing out of his mouth, guess what he said, Ocho?
Wow.
You ain't gay today?
Hey, listen.
I said, man.
Listen.
Said, come on, Cat. He's
and this is the funny thing about it. Now you remember all the people talking trash and saying whatever they had to say, trying to assassinate your character, that you might be this, you might be this, or whatever it may be. So hell, I mean, I'm sitting back, I'm thinking, well, hey, it was a goddamn Michelle, it wasn't a Michael. Huh? You hear me? It wasn't a Michelle. It was, it wasn't a Michael. It was a Michelle.
Yeah.
So we human. We human. Yeah. Now something that we all partake in. We all partake in horizontal and vertical activity. That's everybody. That's everybody in the chat. Now I can attest to that. Now what we don't do, unless you are or if you're in that field of porn and OnlyFans, and at times this is why I always tell you, Unc, you need to evolve with the times. Now you're not very good at technology.
I don't do anything. I don't turn on anything. You're not very good at
technology. So you at times will you've done it to me. Like you hit your phone and your butt dial me by accident and don't even know you're doing it.
Yeah.
True. So I can understand where the mistake came in at. So again, I was upset, but then I also remembered that you're not very good, or you're not very technically savvy with phones and computer equipment and all that stuff. So I gave you a little grace, but I was still a little upset. I was a little hurt. But the fact that it was a Michelle and not a Michael, that's my dog.
It's never been a Michael. I think the thing is, Ocho, for me, is that I immediately, after it happened and I'm driving, and I'm thinking to myself, I just remember everything my grandfather and my grandmother said. They said, boy, you messed it up, now clean it up.
Yes, sir.
And so what I really hate is when people have to answer questions for Shannon Sharpe. Ever since I've been able to talk, I've been able to answer questions. My family, my friends, you are going to have to, you got to ask, man, what was Unc doing? Why did he do that? What happened, Ocho? Where was he?
Right.
My sister, my mom, my brother, my kids, people that shouldn't have to answer for Shannon. Shannon's grown.
Yeah.
Shannon's 56.
Yeah.
Still get it in, y'all see. But anyway, I'm just saying, Ocho. I'm just saying, Ocho.
Hey,
it is what it is.
Listen, you talk about you was here when you was well. We said ain't nothing wrong with you, boy. You talk about your hips. Ain't nothing wrong with your hips.
I told you, ain't nothing slow about Unc but his walk. Okay. I can't move like I once could.
Yes, sir.
But the hip's good. The hip's solid.
Yeah,
the doctor told me their last 50 years, they said them hips will still be good when you gone.
Yes, sir.
But it's tough, obviously, being in a situation like that, because that's something that I've never been in. I never in my wildest dreams, even like, man, what could possibly happen to you, Unc, that would make you the most embarrassed? This never appeared on my radar.
Yeah.
It never appeared on my radar. But the fact that in the process of that, you hurt people.
Yeah.
That's you embarrass people.
Yeah, you hurt me.
I try to tell you, I say, Ocho, man, we got to have that look. There has to be a certain level of professionalism at all times.
Yeah, that's the word. That's the key word right there, because you got on me good about professionalism.
But at the same token, I believe that Shannon probably said, you know what, I got to use the bathroom.
That's what I'm thinking.
He went to go take that pill on the low. And then, while he was in there doing what he got to do.
You might not need a pill.
I'm just saying. He did the commercial with the pill.
Well, that wasn't a pill. Wasn't that like
yes, he did. No, it was not no condom. Y'all
know
know what I'm talking about. He did the commercial with that. And he telling you that that's what it is for us men. But, long story short, I'm thinking that's probably what happened. He went to the bathroom. He did that, whatever.
And
at the same token, she
took his phone. Because you know how most people, they leave their phone on the nightstand.
The older you are... Right, the older you are, you tend to care less about the cell phone. Really?
social media.
You
You don't
kinda
care too much
care less
about
about
social
it, right?
media. You don't care too much about electronic technology, innovation of
Right.
technology. None of that
I
stuff.
just look at it as far as he might have just been doing something on his phone prior to him going to the bathroom.
Left the phone on
Right?
the nightstand.
Left
She
the phone
picks it up,
unlocked.
does what she does, puts it back
And put
in
it
place
back
like
in
nothing
place.
happened.
This
Come
is
on.
what I'm thinking.
A lot of women, you guys know exactly what
Yeah,
I'm talking
this is what
about.
I'm thinking. So,
Right? And then he comes out ready to,
right.
like a roaring
Oh,
lion
yeah,
out of a cage.
like a rocket going to the moon. Like what's these guys? Like
Oh, Gail and them.
like he comes out harder than a rocket going to the moon with Gail and the
Katy Perry.
and Katy Perry and all these guys.
And here it is. It's like,
So he's not gonna let that go to
right?
waste.
And then his phone is on live. He didn't even know about
Correct.
it. And I believe him. I
Right.
really
I
do.
do.
I know
I do.
a lot of people they didn't believe, but sometimes you have to analyze and
Correct.
really take things for what it is, turn it inside out, and kind of really use that brain.
Of
But a lot of
course,
people,
of
they
course,
love
of
attention,
course.
they love social media, and they just love to be messy. And
Of
they
course.
can't wait to grab the phone. Guess what I heard?
Of
Y'all,
course.
guess what? Such and
Right.
such did, without any proof. And
Right.
it's been proven, even up to this day, with so many other cases
Right.
out there. People are just getting online and they're just getting on a computer, they're
Correct,
recording
yeah.
themselves, making videos, and they don't even have the full actual factual.
Right.
And it's so annoying. You know what I'm saying? And then when the truth
And that's-
comes out, they're so indecent that they don't even make an apology video to the person in which they hurt.
Hey,
You know
listen,
what I'm saying?
man.
Because at the end of the day, the video did views and they got money.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's, to me, like I said, I think this whole thing is a money grab. And when it comes to men, especially men that work really, really hard for
Oh,
what they have,
you gotta be careful.
you have to
Of
be
course.
careful. I get it. He's 56. She's in her 20s, or
Right.
if not 20,
So,
in her 20s.
The age difference shows
Right.
who's more capable of operating social media.
But we,
you know what I'm
right,
saying? Not to
too.
say that there's not older people who are capable of operating social media, because there are plenty of people who knows how to operate social media.
Yes.
Being 56,
Yes.
probably older,
Yes.
but for him to be scrolling through and XYZ, more than likely that's all he probably was doing, scrolling through the phone. He said, okay, it looks like, she's ready to go, whatever the
Right.
case may be, and he did what he got to
Right.
do. She left
Well-
the phone
Also, the
unattended.
reason why we bring up the whole cell phone thing is because she alleged, and the reason why we gave all of that insight in regards to the whole Instagram situation
correct.
is because she alleged that when she
It was not
shared
consensual.
when she shared her location,
Uh-huh.
Shannon Sharpe somehow realized that she was sharing her location and became
Aggressive towards her.
aggressive and
Mhm,
abusive.
mhm.
That's crazy. Once again, a person who is not technically electronically savvy,
Wouldn't even know what the hell you're doing with that
you
phone.
ain't gonna know if a
Hell
person
no.
is on what they on, if they on YouTube, or whether or not if they're sharing their location. I mean,
Right.
you're sitting there and Shannon
What's
Sharpe
the-
just happens to be over you, and he's like, "What are you doing?" Oh, I'm
Right.
changing my location.
Right.
That's big
What's the
BS.
most
That's
he
bull
would
crap.
do? He'll probably look at your phone. Oh, you're on
That's
social
bull
media,
crap.
and he'll leave it alone.
I don't think that man even got time to be doing that. That's
Yeah.
nonsense. The whole thing says money
It
grab.
does.
But like I was saying, right?
Mhm.
This nonsense about 2023 was consensual, so you were all with it, right? Because
Correct.
he's Shannon Sharpe. At the end of the
Plus,
day,
she was infatuated with him in the first
but
place.
at the end of the day, what was the purpose? You're 20 and he's 56. What did you want?
A
The
father
D?
figure.
It's not about the D. It was about the money.
Yeah.
Of course, older men, they want younger women because, whether
For
it be for
whatever
sexual
reason.
pleasure or
For whatever reason, I don't
or
know.
arm candy, whatever. But at the end of the day, for the woman who's younger, it's about the money. You're not falling in love with somebody. Listen, save it.
Right.
It's about the money.
Right.
These guys are well established.
Right.
You know that, and you want. Come on, a lot of youngins, they live on social media. They see, oh, this
course.
person got the bag. I want to be just like her.
Of course.
So what do? You either go
course.
out there, get pregnant on purpose by a celebrity or somebody who's well off, or you sit there and it's always two things.
Right.
It's either a lawsuit because alleged sexual assault,
Okay. Yeah.
right, or some type of physical abuse. It's usually always those two things, and sexual assault being one of them. It's like, come on, stop. Ain't
Right.
nobody falling for that nonsense in 2025.
And to them, they believe that person is not knowledgeable of being taken advantage of. Yeah, they might play the game that you want them to play for the time that the game is being played.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, guess who's going to be played? You.
And furthermore, it's 2025. This
Yeah.
is the United States. There's no arranged marriages going on. This is not India
Hey.
or Africa.
Hey.
Stop it. he held you against you. Like
yeah,
stop.
Come on, man. You knew exactly what you were doing when you showed up at that man's place. However you got there.
He demanded control of her time and body.
Right.
You can't demand nothing. Furthermore, you claimed there was sexual assault when he came to your apartment. Why did you open the door?
He came to her. She went to him.
No, well, she claimed at one point she claimed.
Or they went to the hotel.
No, at one point she claimed back and got to pull out the little notes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because this is stupid. Okay, yes. She did claim there was sexual assault that took place at her apartment.
Oh, at her
Why the hell did you open the door?
Now, was that the first or the second time of intimacy?
No, it was a number of times of intimacy, but she's claiming that
it took place at her apartment.
One of the assaults took place at the apartment. The second assault, they never mentioned where it took place. But my whole thing is this: like I said, if he was such a threat, right?
Why would there be a second assault?
And you claim that 2024. If there was such a threat, why would you claim that in 2024? If you claim that in 2024, he became a different person, then why the hell would you open the door in 2024? Would you not say, you know something, get from in front of my door before I call the cops? Would you not put out a restraining order? Would you not have your restraining order in place so when he shows up you call the cops? That's bullshit. You're not gonna open the door. And there's another case that I heard something similar. You're going through abuse. Why are you opening the door?
Well,
why are you opening the door?
Something made her open that door. She knew that he had the key to open her door, so that's why she opened that door.
So miss me with all that nonsense. But anyway, we're interested to see how you feel about this situation.
Yes, definitely.
Because this situation within itself is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's heated.
And for a professional, right? A professional who was inducted into the Hall of Fame back in 2011. Leave this person alone. Allow them to shine. We don't want to remember him as the guy with a case, or especially if it's something frivolous, right? It's something like a lot of people, they don't think. They're so caught up on the money and the bag that they don't even think about your legacy that they're destroying.
No, they don't care about that.
You know, the selfishness in some people. But anyway, my loves,
that legacy rings bells like cha-ching.
Yes,
to them, you know.
Let us know what you think about this crazy Shannon Sharpe alleged SA situation.
Right.
And let us know in the comment section if you think she's telling the truth or she's just full of you know what.
She's straight capping. Straight up.
Anyway, that's about it. That's all we got for you for now. We'll be back with another story pretty soon.
Definitely, guys. See you later.